Hey there, Nostalgics. Welcome back here to the Nostalgia Factor, where we took a look at the best and worst in gaming. And in this case, one of the best licensed games that I've played, and another one from the Yu-Gi-Oh series, Yugioh 5Ds Reverse of Arcadia on the Nintendo DS. Released back in 2010, this game aimed to retell the story from the anime known as the Dark Signer Saga, while trying to refine the dueling mechanics that we know not only from the anime, but from so many of the video games that have come out over the years. Now, does this game accomplish that in any regard? Especially considering that I covered the first of the three 5Ds DS games Stardust Accelerator some time ago. I'm here to happily tell you guys yes, because this game improves upon everything both in the unique storytelling department with your player character, as well as improving the dueling mechanics and the side content, as well as keeping up with the visuals and music from a standard DS game. But let's get into all that here. This is Yugioh 5Ds Reverse of Arcadia. I've been a Yu-Gi-Oh fan for many years, ever since I was a kid, throughout high school, college. I've dabbled with the card game itself, and I have played the video games a ton. Multiple different entries throughout the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise that I have dabbled with, from the GBA, from the Game Boy Color, to the Nintendo DS. There's just been a lot of ways that I have played and experienced Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Reverse of Arcadia stands out in numerous ways, especially from a video game perspective. While this game is a licensed game, and definitely more so geared toward fans of the actual series, whether you're from the card game, the anime, video games, whatever, it's definitely more so for the fans, but it's definitely something that if you're looking to get into the series, you could definitely enjoy. For starters, the visuals of this game are actually fairly impressive, as well as the soundtrack being extremely solid, whether you're riding on your duel runner, going through Domino City or Satellite, as well as the battle theme throughout the various duels that you'll be undertaking, whether it be boss fights or regular duels. Basically, those are just base elements of the game. The game looks solid enough on its own with some pretty good models, animations on your duel runner, really cool animations that spawn when you summon certain monsters from the cards. This game does look good for a Nintendo DS title, and again, the soundtrack's pretty good too. Not as underrated as Hot Wheels Beat That, which I reviewed some time ago, but it's definitely a solid soundtrack all in all too. It's not really much to really point out, considering that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Licensed game of all things, and the focus is mainly going to be on gameplay and story, but these are definitely notable elements to point out that are pretty solid. Actually, take a listen for the battle theme soundtrack for yourself. Give yourself an idea. About these Yu-Gi-Oh games is, even though they're not the strongest in the story department, depending on which game we're looking at, a la Forbidden Memories, if you guys get that reference, don't play that one. But seriously though, the Yu-Gi-Oh games themselves recreate many different arcs from the actual anime themselves. While a lot of them don't have original stories like Chef of Destruction, this game in particular for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Reverse of Arcadia adapts the Dark Signer storyline extremely well. And not only does it recreate the different moments, whether it be the iconic duels with the Dark Signers, the destruction of Satellite, going more into the backstory of the Crimson Dragons and the Signers, as well as looking into the goings-on with Yusei and friends, including Luna in the Spirit World. There's a lot of stuff that involves your player character not only being a faceless, nameless guy who's just there along for the ride, witnessing these events and dueling some people along the way. Your character is deeply involved in the story even from the start, with you, once again, for the second game in a row, having amnesia, being recruited by a shady organization, which by a bunch of psychic duelists essentially, and you're being pitted against all these different duelists and all these different operations going on. But as your memory starts to come back to you, you discover a secret past in Satellite with Yusei and friends dueling other gangsters and scum throughout old Satellite, and eventually discovering that you have a greater destiny when it's revealed that Yusei and the others are signers, and they have to combat a new threat with these dark signers that want to rise up and destroy the entire world. Some of these key elements that I've mentioned are very intricate, we'll say, to the actual anime itself. Some of you guys listening to this probably aren't going to understand some of these references. Once again, this is a game definitely made for fans, but it's an extremely enjoyable story. Your character is involved a ton. You duel so many of the iconic people and enemies from the anime themselves. You get to witness a lot of unique events that aren't exactly there within the anime. And they do a good job of integrating an anime plot into a Yu-Gi-Oh! License game. Reverse of Arcadia definitely pulls this off extremely well with a lengthy plot, extremely detailed, well-written characters, and all in all, despite the fact that it is a licensed game, the story itself is pretty unique. Even with some unique moments like this, unique story aside, there really isn't a ton to cover with this one other than the fact that yes, it is a good recreation of the anime itself. But the main focus of any Yu-Gi-Oh game, especially ones that I've covered in the past, with the exception of the unique story of Chef of Destruction, is the gameplay. And of the 3 Yugioh 5Ds DS games that have come out, Reverse of Arcadia has the most refined gameplay. The dueling is typically what you would expect, with laying down your spells and trap cards, summoning monsters, taking different turns with your opponent. At the start of the duel, you have a rock, paper, scissors mini-game to determine who goes first. And you can customize decks, you can buy cards from the online shop, you can duel duelist, not just in the main story, but NPCs that you can encounter throughout Satellite or New Domino City or other unique locations. Collect cards, build decks with your briefcase feature, and it's basically all standard dueling, but it is extremely well refined. The animations look better, there are more unique cards and packs available to you, both old legendary cards and, at the time, newer synchro cards that you could use. In this game as well, following up from Stardust Accelerator, you can even customize a Duel Runner deck itself, using speed spells and other unique monsters and traps. This game offers so much customization for your deck with more cards and more options, and the dueling mechanics themselves, when you're actually dueling on the field, it's pretty standard. Everything that I said in the Stardust Accelerator review about how good this game looks and how well it plays, it still carries over into this game. The mechanics are just more refined and you have more options with your cards. At the end of the day, however, this game doesn't really do anything new from Stardust Accelerator other than these improvements, but is by far the best dueling. The gameplay in the game mainly revolves around that concerning the dueling itself. Outside of that, you're going to be riding your Duel Runner for mini-games and for story moments, walking around different areas, finding hidden currency, hidden cards, that kind of thing. And for the most part, outside of walking between areas and doing the story, dueling opponents. Not really a ton to describe here for this one either, other than the fact that this game, for a DS Yu-Gi-Oh game, is extremely refined with the dueling mechanics, and is by far the best one that I've played of the 3 5Ds games. Not really a ton to describe with this one if you're a non-Yu-Gi-Oh fan either. This is, once again, a game mainly made for the fans. So, if you're someone who's not interested in the franchise previously, or if you're looking to get into the game, this is a good game to learn the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh!, to learn more about the story and the anime, and with the better refined gameplay and better card options, the gameplay in this game is pretty solid. guys, that's going to do it for this one. The thing with these Yu-Gi-Oh! Licensed games are, outside of the story and any unique and new features they add, there really isn't a ton to add with a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. Outside of the stories, the gameplay is pretty much the same, so not really anything in-depth with this one either. What I can safely say is that Yugioh 5Ds Reverse of Arcadia on the Nintendo DS is my personal favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on the Nintendo DS. It is extremely well refined, it looks good, has a good soundtrack, improved and enhanced dueling mechanics, a good story with better character integration, and all in all it's just a good time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans and newcomers alike. This is definitely one that is extremely underrated and definitely doesn't get covered much anymore, which is why I love doing these reviews, to bring more attention to some pretty good games, or maybe even inspire a few of you guys to want to check this one out. Yugioh 5D's Reverse of Arcadia is a well-polished game. It doesn't really do a ton new or different from other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, but I really don't have any major issues with this one either. What you see is what you get. It is a really well done and well constructed licensed game, a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, and a solid Nintendo DS title. This is definitely one that I recommend for fans who have never checked this one out to experiment with and play. And again, if you're new to the series, like I've said throughout this review, definitely give this one a shot. I think this might get you into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series and introduce you to new styles of dueling, such as the Duel Runners. But this one, all in all, good game. Definitely gets a recommendation from me. And that is going to conclude this review today. I hope you guys enjoyed another Yu-Gi-Oh! Review. Hopefully at some point in the future I will cover the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on the Nintendo DS that I intend to cover, which is the third Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds game over the Nexus, which is my second favorite of the 3 Nintendo DS games. Maybe we'll cover that one in the future. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Give it a like if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to catch future reviews, gaming collaborations with other creators, and every other type of content that we do here on this channel. Hope you guys enjoy your stay if you decide to stick with the journey. And comment down below what you guys think about Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D, Stardust Accelerator, Reverse of Arcadia, anything Yu-Gi-Oh! Related that you guys want to down in the comments section down below. Otherwise, guys, thank you once again for checking out this video, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Keep on gaming, Nostalgics.